if people can just talk about like what makes your puzzle piece or whatever, it's not about everybody fitting this being the same thing, because you can't make a puzzle with all the same pieces. It's worthless. But you know what I mean? It's like if they're all the same, they all fit together the same way. I think there are a lot of guys that feel the same pressures that girls do to be feminine. Guys feel the same pressure to be masculine. Well, and that's directly worrying about how people identify, because it makes people uncomfortable.
It's like, let's just make you feel uncomfortable, for anything but who we are.
I feel like that's why guys have a hard time talking about stuff, because it's like the whole issue with gender and identity just comes down to like knowing what to expect from a stranger and like boiling them down to like the littlest piece of information that you possibly can. And we don't want that, like,
that sounds fucked up to me.
I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's how human nature is.
What does a man do?
We're men. So, I went ahead and took the liberty of making you 5 man cards. Hold them very dear, because every time you drop the ball, man-wise, I'm going to take one from you.
That's strike 2. One more, I'm taking your man card.
My man card? What was strike 1? Hey, B, I'm going to the bathroom. You coming?
I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who don't take no crap of nobody.
Sorry. Never apologize, mister. It's a sign of weakness. Mr. Cohill, I see no reason why Mr. Pennell should not go picnicking.
You're a man now, SpongeBob, and it's time you started acting like one.
Yeah! When I realized I had to give up devoting my life to people's image of me is when my dad got sick with cancer, because he went to the chiropractor to go get his back fixed because he'd had a bad back for as long as I was alive. He goes to look at his pinched nerve and he finds out the pinched nerve is a tumor growing up his whole spine. And he was diagnosed with cancer in November of my sophomore year of college. He died the day after Valentine's Day that year. You realize your parents are human beings too, like you are. And me and my brother, because I have a twin brother, and he is like the exact image of who my father was. And I am like so similar to my mom in so many ways, because I was always closer with my mom than I was with my dad. When I was like 5 years old, I come home and my parents were like, listen, we need to talk to you about like what's going on. And they pulled us up to the TV room and they told us that they were going to separate. I feel like it would have helped me a lot more to figure out just at least at that stage in my life how to be a young man if I had my dad to role model it for me, because my mom taught me how to be a proper person and like how to be polite to people, and then you start trying to figure out how to talk to girls. You know, you're 14, you're too embarrassed to talk to your mom about how to talk to girls or something, so where do you learn that if your dad is not around? From the books or from TV, whatever shows. You take it for what it is. Like, it seems like that's the truth.
You look pretty.
What did you say?
I said you look shitty. Good night, Denise.
We grow up with these images of masculinity of like, Chuck Norris is such a man, he's never cried, and if he did, his tears would cure cancer.
I heard another rumor that you were bitten by a king cobra.
Yeah, I was. But after 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra died.
We still tell young boys, like, it's bad to cry.
I've got to man up. Okay, manning up, manning up, manning up. Oh, girling down.
I remember being like, what was it, 4th or 5th grade, and I got really mad during a baseball game that I was playing, and my coach is like, there's no crying in baseball, but it's like, my coach is saying this to me as a joke, but I'm a 9-year-old kid. I don't hear it as a joke. All I hear is, you can't cry if you want to be on the baseball team.
Are you crying?
No.
There's no crying in baseball!
You play ball like a girl!
Showing weakness as a man is the worst thing that you can possibly do. Because the minute you let another guy see a chink in your armor, they pull it apart little bit by bit, day by day. It's like little stupid comments.
Yes, it was me who saw you doing leg lifts in the gym on that inflatable ball. It was quite the display of girl power. Absolutely loved the leg warmers. Say, that was some real Nancy Drew stuff there. Nancy, ask Betty why he's such a girly girl.
Feeling a full range of emotions doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you less of a man. In fact, the worst thing you can do for yourself is try and hold everything inside, because you'll fucking explode.
I'm sorry, Will.
You know what? Actually, this works out better for me. You know, the Slimmies of summer come to class wearing next to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Will, it's all right to be angry.
Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? I learned how to shave. I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
And for as much as I had issues with my dad, he was exactly the man that he wanted to be, so that when he was taken from us, there was no question about the man that he was. And that's something I'm still trying to get over, is opening back up to people about my weaknesses and insecurities, because I spent so much time putting that shield up. I catch myself in moments where I'm holding back parts of me because I don't want to seem goofy or nerdy or anything, and I just start thinking, it's like, what would my dad think? Masculinity is meant to me is being comfortable enough with yourself. Masculine identity is what the guys are talking about in the barbershop, or when you're out on the corner like shooting hoops and whatever. Real men don't have to validate themselves all the time. You're not a man if you have to look at another guy and make them feel little about themselves. You can try your whole life to fight to be what people want and never make it there. Without your father, you don't have that rock solid figure who validates. Don't worry about what other people say. Even if you have your flaws, I wanted to make sure that when I leave, I'm my own person. That people can say he knew who he was, and not that I was trying to just be another person conforming to stuff.